and Craig Smoke.
Baylor men's basketball coach, national championship coach Scott Drew joins Craig Smoke, David Smoke, 365 Sports. So you've told me that after a loss you don't sleep. So how did you sleep Wednesday night when you finally got to bed?
Like a baby. The only problem is we didn't get in till probably, most of us probably didn't get to bed until 3 o'clock. So we had some issues coming back. But it was a blessing to be able to get back and obviously get a tough, hard-fought road win. And it sure feels good after a 3-game skid.
Coach, what was your experience like getting to go on the road to see a new conference mate, Johnny Dawkins and UCF and the Knights and all they have down there in Orlando?
Well, I think first, the weather's tremendous. Second of all, the hospitality and the way they took care of everybody was really outstanding and shows why they were a great addition to the conference. It's in a great market, and Coach Dawkins has done a great job in a short time there as far as being a part of the Big 12. But that when you're part of a conference like the Big 12, it's easy for fans to come out and support because they know it's a great competition, great games, and a lot of excitement around the best league in the country.
I know you had been trying to tidy up some things, second half chance points for the opponent, free throws a little bit too, but also finishing. But there was a part of when I watched the games Wednesday night, Scott, that I thought, I don't know how many possessions, but the ball movement, moving the ball around almost to the point where it was like just clockwork. Did you notice that being better on Wednesday too?
Yes, to answer the question. But Central Florida's defense best in the country. Early on, I thought we had some early turnovers adjusting to it, but to only have one turnover in the second half, going back to what you were talking about, and especially the last 6 minutes, I mean, that was an offensive clinic as far as high percentage shots, great basketball, and executing down the stretch. And shooting 80% from the free throw line definitely was part of the victory.
Executing down the stretch, which finishing, closing it out, that's something that obviously bit you, you know where, in the last week or so. Is that something that you were much more pleased with how they handled the adversity when you had the lead and UCF hit a couple of threes?
Absolutely. And I think we were talking to David Cook, a Baylor grad, and one of the best in the professions, and he really put some perspective on it. He said, you were ranked number 9 in the country. You lose 3 games by 1 possession, and if you change those, probably ranked top 2 or top 3 in the country. So you're 3 from being top. That's how close. And it was a refreshing way, I think, for our guys and our staff to look at it. And because, again, I always equate losing to like working all week, not getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, and slice it, dice it. It hurts, doesn't feel good, affects you. And I thought that was a great perspective.
Did you see your team bounce back with even more focus and energy because of the win when you got back on the court here in Waco? We're human, and when you don't sleep for a night, the next day you're not very good. And today we were just okay. Tomorrow we hope to be a lot better. So I think today was good to get some of the junk out. Yesterday, obviously, we couldn't do much coming off of a late night and a cumulative effect of 3 overtime game, another road game, and then we play on Tuesday. So I know with Iowa State, they've had a tremendous year thus far, and they're a reason they're where they're at in conference. They beat us 3 times last year, so I know all our returning players know just how good they are.
Coach, I know there's not a lot of time to look in the rear view, and it's all about the next game, but Langston Love with a big performance for you the other night. Just wanted your thoughts on just his performance, and also just not the other night, but throughout the season, just what you've seen from him, what you've asked of him, and how he's been able to respond to what you need.
Yeah, great observation. And Langston's somebody that I don't know if there's a better 6th man in the country. And for us, it never matters who starts. It's we always call it a starting rotation, and obviously Langston's a big part of that. But first year ACL injury, second year come back from that, then the eye injury, finally being healthy long enough where he's able to feel comfortable, be in a groove. Physically, he looks great, and playing his best basketball since he's been at Baylor. And hopefully he can keep being consistent throughout the rest of the conference, because even though he's only in his second year and really only his first full year, he's one of our experienced guys.
I know you got media to get to, and we don't want to keep you from that. We appreciate your time. Is Yves Missi playing even a better level than you could have imagined, even though you're now past the midway point of his freshman year?
Yeah, I think, first of all, coming in out of high school, and at the time he was at prolific prep, he was a very good player, but he was probably your second go-to big as far as offensively goes. And to do what he's done, improve like he's improved, and it really helps going against Jonathan Chamachacho and his leadership experience, and the horse whisperer or the coach, whatever you want to call him, but he's done a great job with him and Josh helping both of them along. But all three of those guys have together iron, so I think it's a big reason for that credit. And Yves, somebody that for his age, he picks up things really quick. And obviously the physicality is different in the Big 12, and he's not going to be 260 pounds by the end of the year. But the ability to pick up offensive sets, scouting reports, and things like him offset maybe some of the strength deficiencies a freshman would have going against guys that are in their 6th, 7th year in college.
Thank you, Scott. See you tomorrow night. Should be a hell of a crowd. Great game.
Should be a great game. We will see you guys here. Let's go Bears.
Yes, sir. That's Scott Drew, Baylor Bears men's basketball coach, national championship coach. He's always the same way. I mean, he was getting a little grumpy. You could imagine with the K-State game, overtime loss, then Texas, overtime loss. They didn't finish those games out in regulation. And then, of course, what happened as well, the third straight loss. And I was at that game against TCU. They couldn't close that game out, although the big three that put the game into overtime, but they never should have been in that position. But a hell of a win for TCU in the Foster Pavilion last Saturday night. When we come back.